Hey guys, it's your girl Rochelle here on Thursday, October 28th, and I'm bringing you my NFL Week 8 picks. First up this week, we've got the Denver Broncos and the San Francisco 49ers, and they're actually playing this game in London at Wembley Stadium, I believe. Um, it's kind of interesting because both of these teams were supposed to be much better right now than they are, with Denver at 2-5 and the lovely San Francisco 49ers at 1-6. So I'm pretty sure it's a little different for the NFL than they expected. These were supposed to be, some pretty good teams. NFC West and AFC West, pretty high up there, and it's just not really working out the way everyone thought it would. But, I mean, personally, I think it still should be a fairly interesting game. I am going to personally go with the 49ers. I know I keep picking them and they keep losing, but I'm really, really hoping for them this time. This is a good team. It's not a bad team. It should be interesting, though, because they don't have their starting quarterback. Alex Smith got hurt, and they're putting in Troy Smith, which should be interesting for him to have to play in a whole nother country. But I personally think it should still work out for the 49ers. Just not sold on Denver personally, so that's why I'm going with them. Then we've got Jacksonville versus Dallas. Oh my gosh, if Dallas can't win this game, I don't even know what to tell you. I know. It just was devastating having Romo go out. Trust me, as a Cowboys fan, I understand. But I still think even with John Kitna, they should be able to get this. The Jacksonville Jaguars, unfortunately, are not a very good team right now. So hopefully for the Cowboys, they can figure out how to just, put something together and make this one work for them. Then we've got Miami versus Cincinnati. This one's kind of tough for me because Miami does usually play really well. They've been playing well on the road, not so well at home. They've lost home games and won road games. And this is going to be at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is just kind of up and down this season. I'm going with Cincinnati. I still think they're the better overall team. But honestly, it could be either or, especially, like I said, with Miami doing so well on the road. So one of them will win. I'm going to go with Cincinnati. We'll see what happens. Then we've got Buffalo and Kansas City, rather, the Chiefs. Even though Buffalo's not the greatest team and has not won any games yet, I still do see them as a team that, it's a really good team. It's very interesting to watch them play. They played really well versus Baltimore, but the Ravens are an amazing team for a reason. They figure out how to win the close ones. They figure out how to win the ones they're not supposed to win, and that's what they did this past weekend. Kansas City, though, has been putting together a very nice string of wins. So I'm personally going to have to go with Kansas City, and they're at home. So I really think Kansas City should be able to get this one. Then we've got Washington and Detroit. Not really sold on Detroit right now. Washington is just seeming, kind of figuring out how to win games, even with terrible play on offense. Defense is somehow making up for it. So I'm going to have to go with Washington in this one, too. Then we've got Carolina and St. Louis. Luckily for St. Louis, Carolina's not doing very well, even though I think they didn't suck up the joint this past weekend. But I personally still think St. Louis can get this. This is definitely a pretty good team that we're seeing with Bradford. They're doing pretty good. Steven Jackson is, still an amazing running back to watch in the game. So I'm gonna have to go with St. Louis getting this one for this weekend. Then we've got the Green Bay Packers versus the New York Jets. Jets had a week off, had some time to kind of, just recoup any injuries, anybody that was a little sore, doing much better. So I'm going to have to go with the Jets. Green Bay's just, unfortunately just reeling from the losses that they've had, even though they did get the win that they wanted last week. I'm just not seeing them being able to pull it off versus the Jets. The Jets are, honestly, personally, the class of the AFC. It's them and Pittsburgh, but I haven't seen the Jets do anything that makes me not think that they can win this game. Then we've got Tennessee and San Diego. This one I'm not really sure about, and that's only because Kerry Collins has been playing pretty well for the Titans with VY being out. who should probably, I mean, I think he could play this week, but I think if they're smart, they'll let him, keep him out. He'll have a bye week next week, so he'll be, have a couple weeks to totally recoup and be ready to play in a few weeks. San Diego, I don't know what to say about them. They have good offense, they have great defense, but they just have not been putting together wins. I believe they're like 2-5 right now, but I think they should be able to get this win. I personally think this might be a game that they can win. So we're gonna go with San Diego Chargers. I mean, NFL this year has not been what I expected. Lots of people are winning that I didn't expect. Lots of people are losing that I didn't expect. So I'm going to go with the Chargers this time and just hope for the best. Then we've got Minnesota versus New England. I don't think New England's in the greatest of spots without Randy Moss. I mean, Deion Branch is okay, but he's not Randy Moss. However, Brett Favre is hurt, and I understand he'll try and tell us that he's not doing this for the record, but why else would you do? Because you know you can't run on that foot. But whatever. He insists upon playing, so especially if he insists upon playing this week, I don't see the Minnesota Vikings being able to pull this win off if Tavares does not have enough time to really gel with the offense. So I'm going to have to go with New England this weekend because I don't really think Brett will be able to stay through the whole game, no matter what he says or thinks. We've got Tampa Bay versus Arizona. Tampa Bay is doing pretty well. Their coach went out on a limb and said they're the best team in the NFC. Only reason no one can truly argue with them is because no one knows who is the best team in the NFC because the NFC has been shoddy. Dallas was supposed to be the team. No. New Orleans, no. Minnesota, Brett has been no good in comparison to what he was last year. Green Bay, everybody's hurt. So it really is up in the air as far as who is the class of the NFC. So, hey, if Tampa Bay, if their coach believes it's them, then whatever. I think they'll be able to win against the Cardinals because the Cardinals seem to not really know what they're doing. Derek Anderson was pulled, Max Hall was put in, and Max Hall was pulled last week, and Derek Anderson was put back in. No one seems to figure out how to get the ball to Fitzgerald, who hello, it's Fitzgerald. All you need to do is just throw it in the vicinity, and he can go up and catch it, but they haven't figured that out. I'd love to see the Cardinals win. I like the Cardinals from my days in Phoenix, but they're not going to win this game. Tampa Bay's been, doing pretty well. Then we've got Seattle versus Oakland. I'm going to just say Seattle because, every time I pick against Oakland, they do well. So if anyone loves the Oakland Raiders, they should just keep hoping I pick against them because every time I pick against them, they win the game. So I'm picking the Seattle Seahawks for this one. Pittsburgh versus New Orleans. Clearly, the thing to say would be Pittsburgh because New Orleans is not any good. I swear, if you see my paper right here, I was going to pick NO because Reggie Bush was supposed to be back, but they're thinking that he probably won't be, so I'm going with Pittsburgh. Sorry. As soon as Reggie gets back, I really do think this team will be a lot better. They'll have the run game that offsets Drew Brees, which I think is going to work perfect for them, be a lot better for them. Then we've got Houston and Indianapolis. Indianapolis is probably quite sore from that whipping that Houston gave them in the beginning of the season. So I'm going to go with Indianapolis is coming back and getting this one. So, sorry, Houston. You seem to be on a really good path when you beat them, but it's not been as amazing. So I'm going to just go right now with the Indianapolis Colts going ahead and rounding out our week with our Monday Night Football game and going ahead and winning. So that's my week, my picks for NFL Weeks 8. If you've got any questions, need to talk to me about anything, make sure to hit me up at Rochelle at hardwooddiva.com. And don't forget The Basics of series is going to be continuing. We're going to get basketball out to you as soon as possible. We're making cuts, making video edits. So we'll get that when we can. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.